Hello everyone and welcome back to the World Team Carcassonne Online Championship with our match today, Norway against Ukraine. And I'm not alone. With me is Dan, who can introduce himself now.
Hello, thank you very much for that introduction. I'm Dan. I'm from the UK, and I'm currently in the same group as Meeple Wizard. So we're competing against each other, and his team's doing a little bit better than mine. But I'm hoping that there's still a chance that we can get second spot. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it could be a really close one, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah.
If you win your last match and maybe the other teams play for you, a slight chance.
We'll see what happens on Sunday with Poland and France. I think that will determine how big the mountain is that we need to climb at the end.
Yeah, that's true. And same is actually for our match today. Norway kinda good actually. Let's actually go through the lineup real quick. We have for Norway Dog, Jim Targaryen, Mogulen, Isaacson and Mr. Savastano. And on the other side, Ukraine with Saharic, Jubic, Van Alexen, Samuelson and Lawyer. And I can actually go to the group stage right here. So we have in Group A, Japan first place, then Norway second position, and Ukraine actually on fifth position right now. But yeah, between Russia, Mexico, Ukraine and the USA, they also all of them have only one win so far. So yeah, could still be possible for Ukraine to maybe qualify for the knockout round. But yeah, they definitely have to win today. And yeah, against Norway, that's a difficult task, I would say.
Yeah. Looking at the ELO scores for some of the team, the Ukrainian team seem the stronger, but based on the performances so far, it looks like Norway are doing something better. So it's going to be a really interesting match, as you say.
Yeah. And Elias is asking who's my guest. It's Dan from the UK team, the UK leader or captain. And you're actually the man behind Carcassonne Central, right?
I am, yes. At the moment, it's not something that I started, but I kind of took over the reins a couple of years ago, and we've run a few tournaments there using J Cloister Zone, if anyone's familiar with that, and we have a sort of quite a lot of fan expansions and lots of rules questions, and it's just a general sort of English-speaking fan forum. So well worth checking out if you're not aware of it already.
Yeah. And yeah, I thought it would be nice to have a little bit of a sexy British accent in the stream.
Well, that's what you get. Yeah.
Okay, then we can actually take a look. Oh, the table's open. Oh, we could actually maybe find our match for today. Okay, so I've covered the matches of Dog already, of Saharic, Jubic and Jim Targaryen as well, I believe. So maybe I think Samuelson deserves a bit of a spotlight. Maybe match 4, Isaacson versus Samuelson would be my guess. Or do you want to cast another match? I mean, I don't mind.
I'm perfectly happy with any of them, to be honest. They all look pretty good.
Yeah. So then let's do match 4, and then maybe if it's a quick match, we can check one of the others as well. Probably 1 or 2 matches will be in the deciding match anyway. So
yeah.
Okay, then.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
Okay, Samuelson. And yeah, still 2 minutes to go. How long do you play Carcassonne already?
So I was a little bit late to it. I first played it in 2012, so about 8 years ago. It was my wife bought it as a birthday present for me, and I wasn't a board gamer at the time, so I really didn't know what it was. At first, I thought it was some sort of jigsaw puzzle, which I suppose it is in a way, but a little bit more complicated than that. But yes, I started playing it that year, and I just haven't really stopped since.
Yeah, I mean, if that's late, I started in 2018.
Oh, it always makes me feel bad when people sort of like who have risen to the rank of world champion say, "Oh, I've been playing it for 2 or 3 years."
Mm.
It makes me wonder what I've been doing wrong.
Yeah, but I mean, you're better than me, at least in our
Oh,
personal matches.
well, I say a little prayer before our games, and the Carcassonne God seems to grant me the luck I need. So,
Yeah, that big city tile. I mean, 3 times
but
in a row. That was, yeah.
it, it makes me laugh because that tile, I think I feel the same way as you do about it. I can rarely find anything constructive to do with it, so it's usually just something that I'll dump somewhere to try and kill off a meeple.
Yeah,
Yes, I was fortunate with those 3 opportunities to use it in that way.
yeah. Uh, that game. Okay, so Samuelson is in the game. Okay, they just started. Let me actually quickly open the other tables as well to be updated. Do you have the game open already? Oh yeah, yeah,
Just
I see you.
opening it. Yeah.
Oh, the monastery. I don't really like playing monasteries that early in the game, to be honest.
There's, there's always a risk, isn't there? But I suppose if there's quite a small starting area, then you have somewhere obvious to put it, and you can often build around it. But yeah, it's a bit of a risk.
I mean, the monastery with the road is probably
Mm,
better in the beginning, but the
yeah.
yeah, standard one, I don't really like it. You have so much work to
Mm,
do.
yeah. Mm.
And what do you think? Who will win today, Norway or Ukraine?
I think it's going to be really interesting. I think, in my mind, Norway probably have the edge, but only slightly. I'm going to go out on a limb and suggest 3-2 to Norway.
Yeah, I mean it's still a board game. There's still luck involved, and it's maybe one tile that can make the difference between a win or a loss.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Hmm.
Okay, so yeah, so far Isaacson actually in a good position right here.
Yeah.
Do you actually have a, I don't know, game plan or strategy? Or to me, you actually feel like an, kind of opportunistic player. You attack when you have to, or you do your own thing when you have to. But there are,
Yeah,
but there are people who just block or just, yeah, don't care at all about what the opponent is
yeah.
doing, and
Yeah, I mean it depends. Every game is different. But usually, especially in the early part of the game, I'm going to want to try and lock up my opponent's meeples or at least make their life difficult, just to try and reduce their scoring potential a little bit.
Yeah.
And sometimes you trade off the easy points by adopting that kind of strategy. But yeah, I think because of that, my games tend to be quite low scoring. But I'm just as happy to win by 1 point where I've only scored 70 as to score 150 points and lose by 1 point.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, and that's the starting tile. That's very good for Isaacson right there.
It's always so frustrating, isn't it, when you create a gap that only one tile can fill or restricts their options, and then they immediately draw it.
Yeah. And when I play Carcassonne, I always say there are like two kinds of luck. The first one is getting the tile that you need, and the second one is getting the tile you need immediately, or maybe 2 moves after you need your opponent tried to block you.
Yeah.
And it's always kind of annoying. I mean,
yes, you mean it can make a difference if you get the tile immediately, or if you have to wait half the game for it.
Yeah, right. I mean, I have no problem if my opponent gets the tile, but yeah, then I want him to wait as long as possible for it.
Yeah. So I suppose the green player here is in a difficult situation, because if he wants to complete his cloister, he's going to have to share that city or wait for one of the splitter tiles. But equally, Samuelsson, I suppose, oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Complete the city to complete his cloister. And he's looking in quite a good position with 3 more tiles that will complete his city as well.
Yeah. And also the field cooks or the meadow looks kind of promising already. So Samuelsson should definitely pay attention to that.
Yeah, it's certainly showing potential, isn't it? But I suppose at the moment it's only got 1 complete city on, probably, well, maybe 2 or 3. Sometimes it's worth taking a gamble and getting it if it looks like it's going to grow.
Yeah, true. And I mean, also Isaacson closing the city with the triangle, also finishing in his monastery was, I mean, a great move. I mean, if you wait for the splitting tile, there's maybe the chance for Samuelsson as well to block the city and his monastery. But yeah.
I think it's often tempting when you want to stop your opponent from getting a decent city. You want to try and share it, but in this case, Samuelsson put more points into the city just to share it than were already in it.
Yeah.
Your favorite tile?
Yeah, and that's I mean, for Isaacson, usually you would place it on the small city to the right, but yeah, then he will block himself probably.
Yeah.
So that's lucky for Samuelsson right here.
It feels like Samuelsson is playing a more strategic game, perhaps, going for more blocks.
Yeah. And Isaacson actually has a good opportunity. The city below, maybe connecting my favorite tile. And so he has a big, how do you call it? Dead city.
Yeah.
Probably has no chance to finish it, but yeah, as long as it will give you, I don't know, over 10 points maybe, then it's still worth it.
Yeah, well, you just keep throwing big tiles when you don't have a better place to put them into it, don't you?
Yeah.
So that's a nice one for Isaacson. Okay, and he's lost his city.
Yeah, but I mean, blocking with the triangle there is also kind of risky for Samuelson right now. Offering a good spot for Isaacson to attack the city and at the same time attacking Samuelson's road.
Yeah.
Oh, and there we go with the attack again.
Yeah. So the decision is whether or not he'll defend himself, because there's still 2 tiles left potentially that would allow him to keep growing it, or is he just going to leave it there and take his city at the top? I think if it was me, I'd probably want to defend it.
I mean, he has 2 options actually, like saving it active, the active way, so the MPs with road is still in the game, or placing it on the other MPs without road, so that he could still add the triangle with road.
Yeah.
So that might be an option as well. And then he actually would have also had the possibility to draw the second splitting tile with the little cities. How do you call it?
The split, the adjacent ones.
Where he is blocked already right now, that tile. And then he could actually close the city still. But yeah, decides to close his small city on top. Not sure if I would have done it, because the city actually is kind of safe there.
Yeah.
But well, now he draws the MPs with road anyway.
Yeah. So they're mostly playing it quite safe, aren't they, at the moment?
Yeah. And I just wanted to say that Isaacson should have placed a meeple on the road when he placed the M, because there was the potential for a long road that Samuelson took now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's 5 points already, likely to be 8 if he joins it to the other bit. Yeah.
Oh, what is Isaacson doing? I mean, I would have placed that tile to close my road on top and then placing the meeple on the field right away.
Yeah. His road is at risk there, and as far as I can see, there's still at least 4 tiles, just the triangles with road, that will fit there and complete that the red road.
Yeah. And I mean, he also gives Samuelson the opportunity to get a city right after, so that's not the greatest choice, I would say. But yeah, on the other hand, Samuelson with the crossroad actually going for the points instead of maybe trying to block Isaacson's road.
Yeah.
I mean, 1 crossroad is left in the game, so this would have been actually a really good block attempt.
Yeah, they're going quite quickly, aren't they?
Yeah.
Maybe, I suppose, if he does draw one of the triangles with the roads on, then it will be an opportunity to grow his farm. But it's probably not one that I would have taken.
Yeah. I mean, it's always interesting to see how different the strategies are. But yeah, so far definitely looks a bit better for Isaacson right now.
Yeah. So he's got 2 cities on the first farm that he claimed, 2 more on the next one, and possibly 3. So that's going to be 15 points. Samuelson has more by the sort of dead city. He's got 7 points there versus 5 on the other side.
And he should definitely, try to, no, maybe, I don't know actually. I mean, only one, or he should actually try to connect the cities maybe, because there's still the chance that Isaacson could draw the splitting tile and maybe, finish the city.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, of course, if he connects, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, well, it doesn't really matter if he connects or not.
Okay. The splitter tiles seem to be arriving a little bit late to this game.
Yeah.
It feels like they could have been useful earlier on. Now I suppose they can be used to grow some farms.
Yeah, and Samuelson should definitely open his own farm now.
Yeah.
Doing it right there. But yeah, that's maybe a bit too late. Yeah. And now he can at least get back his monastery. Oh, actually going for the farm again.
The odds are potentially in his favour of getting onto that main farm, but I'm with 2 meeples left and 16 tiles. I don't know it's worth.
And I mean, so far it's only 6 points, so
yeah.
I mean, he would do better just getting his monastery meeple back and then scoring some additional points somewhere else.
Yeah, perhaps so. But I suppose perhaps he feels that almost any tile can complete that monastery. So maybe that's not a priority for him at the moment. Okay.
I mean, Isaacson could try to get on Samuelson's field now as well. At least, not really an active attempt, but
yeah.
Samuelson definitely trying to connect the farms. Don't want Isaacson to have 3 additional points on top. Oh, I mean, maybe Isaacson actually placed the farm meeple below to maybe have the connection to the field to the left. So
on the other side,
just in case that Samuelson is able to connect the farms, so that Isaacson maybe has a chance to get a second meeple on it.
Yeah. So if that's what he's planning, then I guess he's going to want to be using this road to head it across.
Yeah. Okay, wasn't his plan, but
You never know. And so he's got an opportunity here potentially now, if he wants it, to try and get a second meeple onto that farm if he can close his city.
and I actually wondering if Isaacson actually saw that option to get on the field another time. I mean, yeah, placing the meeple right there was kind of strange to me, and then I saw this connection, and then I felt, oh, that's actually a kind of genius move. And then yeah, suddenly, obviously, wasn't his intention at all.
So Samuelson has an opportunity now to, well, I think he has an opportunity to try and get a second meeple of his own onto the main farm. Maybe he's doing a quick check of the tiles are left.
Yeah, there should be a straight road and a crossroad. And probably enough curve tiles, but I believe he, well, depends if he wants to close his city, but okay, actually not going for it, maybe waiting for, a little city tile to close it.
It's 2 more points that he just throws at that dead city, which is all going to add up at the end. Oh, nice.
And now gets it, and that's actually a smart choice right there.
Yeah, I think so.
And yeah, by now Isaacson could have connected the fields. But yeah. So Samuelson kinda back in the game.
Yes, looks like it. I think getting that triangle city with the roads and finishing the road helped him to get back into the game a little bit. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. And remember the city that Samuelson just closed. It started with Isaacson placing the little city tile with the right turn. And this was like, I mean, Samuelson scored the long road and the city and the meeple on the field. So, yeah, placing the tile right there was kind of suicide.
Yeah, I suppose sometimes decisions that are made in the heat of the moment, you come back to regret them. But yeah, that was a difficult one to understand at the time, I think.
But I believe, I mean, if Isaacson takes the 4 points now for the road, then he could still have a chance to connect the field with the curve road.
Well, I think out of meeples.
Oh, yeah, but right. But yeah, still was at least the option to connect the field, maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
But as Samuelson draws the crossroad, doesn't matter anyway.
No. So they're actually quite close in terms of farm points, aren't they?
Yeah, looks like it.
I think Isaacson has 3 points more.
And Samuelson still has the monastery and the bigger city.
Yes. And they're quite close, aren't they? So it looks like maybe it is going to go to Samuelson.
Yeah. And like, to be honest, in the nearly half of the game, I thought Isaacson would have such an easy game, actually. But yeah, somehow He messed it up a little bit.
I think it was, as you pointed out, it was making that he looked as though he was trying to make a trap, but there were still plenty of tiles left that would release the meeple and complete the road, and then I think he went on from there to complete the city and in the farm.
Yeah. Okay, so Samuelson actually won the game. I quickly write that down so I can keep track of the overall score. And your kids seem to have a little bit of fun.
Yeah, sorry about that. I think they're letting off a bit of steam.
Don't worry.
You've done something with the bird in your back, in your out your window as well. I can't hear it.
Yeah, close the window. I mean, he is still singing.
As long as he's happy.
Yeah.
He's supporting the Ukrainian team.
Okay, and I can tell you guys that Ubich won as well against Jim Targaryen. So that's the second submatch point for Ukraine. And okay, Mogulen won against Van Alexen, so that's 1 point for Norway. And Mr. Savastano won against Lawyer, so that's the 2nd point for Norway. Yeah, seems to be a close match.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to our game right here. And once again, a very early monastery.
I'm just joining the game.
And actually the colors have changed, so Isaacson and Samuelson obviously have the same favorite color.
Yeah.
I really hate that if that happens. It really confuse me if someone else is playing with yellow.
Yeah. That one. I get confused by that too. It's yeah, a big lead for Samuelson early on, 13 points to 0.
Okay, and actually trying to close his city. And I already thought maybe he could also place it next to his or on top of his monastery, maybe placing a meeple on the field early on.
Yeah, it's showing a lot of promise. Looks like a good it could grow.
And this leg now is a situation I've seen a lot of top players now placing the curved road to the city, so that the starting tile is left and the little city with the crossroad.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I usually don't do it. I just leave the spot open, and if my opponent tries to attack, then, well, he can attack. But as long as there is still the little city with the right turn in the game.
Yeah. Well, it seems to have paid off for him.
Yeah, true. Yeah, maybe I should change my strategy in there as well.
I suppose there's the easy 4-point road. Yeah.
And Isaacson should definitely keep an eye on the farm right now, because this could be potentially a really big farm.
Yeah. So if there's 2 more corner roads that make a loop there, then the whole farm becomes one thing. So I think I'll probably be tempted to, certainly for Samuelsson, to, like he's doing, and I'll probably, claim the farm.
So and now, actually the other way around. Now Samuelsson with the early meeples on the farm. So maybe an indicator that Isaacson will win.
Yeah, it's difficult to try and make sense of it sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, with that completed city that Isaacson finished earlier, then the scores are quite close again now. But obviously the farm is looking like being the most valuable feature, and a good head start on that.
Yeah, and you have so many options to add new little cities, and I mean, right now there's not really a good spot to attack the farm for Isaacson. I mean, there's one spot, but yeah, you definitely need, or maybe 2 spots, but looks not very promising so far.
Yeah, I think often if my opponent has committed 2 more meeples than me, or is really going all in for a farm, then I'm going to want to do as much as I can to limit it, rather than commit too many meeples trying to fight them for it.
Yeah, right.
In this case, there's just so many places it can be expanded, that I think it's going to be a bit of a farm war if Isaacson wants to keep himself in the game.
Yeah. And that's maybe what I should have done in our match as well, in the last one. But yeah, was a bit unlucky that I couldn't connect the one meeple with the curve road. Like,
well,
the spot was actually such a good spot with, I mean, 6 or 5 curved roads left in the game, and then you get them all.
Well, I kind of assumed that you would get at least one, because you want to play the odds, don't you? And it made sense to me that you would get at least one. Yeah. So I'd added a third farmer at the top, which I've managed to join. So I think if you've managed to join your second earlier on, and then you've been looking for somewhere to join a third, then the game would have been quite a different one. But as it was, I sort of had to overcommit an extra farmer to it, and then but as it was, you couldn't join your second, unfortunately.
No, and that's actually a strategy that I like to play sometimes. If my opponent already has a farm and maybe two meeples on it, I just want to add a farmer for myself. Actually, not really for fighting for the farm, but just to make my opponent think, oh, maybe he is going for it, and let's add a third meeple just in case, and just to let him spend his meeples.
Let them overcommit. Yeah. Yeah, so Samuelsson drew the city splitter with the 2 adjacent city caps on it. So he's used that quite sensibly as an opportunity to grow his farm a bit. And then Isaacson's capitalised on that by taking one of the cities. I think you said in one of your earlier games that your favourite way to start is with that tile that Isaacson has got a meeple on at the top at the moment, the sort of city extender.
Yeah, this kind of bridge tile.
Yeah, I think if you draw that as the first tile of the game, then it's safe. You put it against the city cap on the start, and you know, potentially you've got 8 points if you can complete it, which is a nice bonus.
I mean, I don't want to come back to our game, but I actually, how many? I did 2 or all 3? I don't know. And then you placed my favorite tile on it.
Yeah, well, you talked a lot about my luck in that game, but I was trying to kill your city, or at least get a share of it, and you just kept extending it away and away and away.
Yeah.
And then eventually I managed to, I was sort of sitting there thinking, you know, surely with his next tile he'll complete it every time. But eventually I dumped the big city tile on it, your favorite tile, and then I managed to join to it as well.
Yeah. And now actually, something interesting happened. Isaacson actually cutting the farms. So that's actually really good for him. So he can maybe now at least tie one of the farms.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that was sensible. And 3 points for it as well, which he needs at the moment. Nice city for Samuelson.
And I actually wanted to do a analysis about our game, rewatch it, and maybe figuring out some mistakes that I did or that you did. If you want, and if you find a date, you can join me if you want.
Yeah, happily. I'd need to be there, I think, just to represent my point of view.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's always cool to have, 2 players online and then both talking about their strategy. That's interesting.
Yeah. No, I'd be very happy to join you.
I was also asked in the comments on YouTube if I could do maybe some analysis about some games, but if I do rewatch every game and commentate them, this would take me hours, and I mean, doing it with my own game together with you is okay, but 20 games or something.
It's going to take a while. So Isaacson's placed an unusual farmer just on that city road tile that completed the city.
Yeah.
I guess that's an attempt to get onto the bigger farm.
Yeah, but
yeah, exactly. Something like this happens, and I suppose it's still worth 3 points, but at this stage of the game, that seems not very much to risk a meeple on.
Yeah, you better would have placed it on the other side to at least take 6 points, and then.
Yeah.
But that meeple was a bit quick. So let's actually see, can Isaacson still finish his city on top? Finding the tiles. There's one. He needs the little city with the, what is it, right turn?
Yeah, road, field. I can see 2 of them.
Yeah, so one should be still in the game.
Looks like it. I always struggle with those tiles because counting whether or not it's counting which ones have already been played, the field, road, or road, field.
Yeah.
Struggle to spot them.
It looks to be a really close game again. I mean, right now Samuelson with the fields, but Isaacson, on the other hand, with the monasteries.
Yeah.
But
It's not very close when you look at the meeples that they've got in
yeah,
hand.
yeah. Just wanted to mention it, but Samuelson with 5 meeples,
Yeah.
and this could be easily up to 15 or 20 points in the end.
Yeah, especially when he's doing he's really prioritizing blocking at the moment, isn't he?
No.
So there's Isaacson has that road which needs a start tile, and the 2 adjacent cloisters both need a start tile as well. Yeah, it doesn't look great for him at the moment.
No. And that's actually how I kind of started playing. I didn't pay too much attention to the field when I started playing Carcassonne, because I just wasn't good enough. And you definitely need a bit of practice to know where to put your farmer and how to enlarge your field and stuff like that. I was really bad at it, and I just kept all my meeples, and in the end, sometimes it paid off. Then you can just throw them and collect 2 points here, 4 points there, and could still be enough in the end.
Yeah, no, that's I think that often seems to work. Or even if you keep your meeples back, then there's usually a few places towards the end of the game where there's unclaimed farms which have got maybe 1 or 2 cities on, so you can easily pick up sort of 9 to 12 points across maybe 2 or 3 turns.
Yeah, true. Oh, and Master Nocebo is in the chat as well. My guest is Dan, the captain from UK. My new nightmare opponent.
I did actually feel bad about our game, looking at how close you were to achieving the master status.
Well, I already got the badge.
Really? Okay.
I don't know. At the beginning of May, I believe.
Yeah.
Actually, I've been over 700 4 times now. But yeah, staying there is not that easy. Yes, Dan.
I'll be happy just to get to 600 at the rate I'm going. So yeah, it looks like Samuelson's second farm, the one that we thought he would try to join, but then he was blocked by the 4-way crossroads, now is bigger than the other one. Yeah, the top one's got 3 on it, maybe 4 if Isaacson finishes that city of his, but the other farm's got 4 on it already, potentially more.
And yeah, finally with skilled comments and beautiful English. That's why he's here. Yeah, I mean, the gap between like 500 elo and 600 and 700 is it looks kind of big, but maybe sometimes it's just a little adjustment in your game, which I did actually a month or maybe 2 months ago. I was always in the bottom of 500 or maybe in the mid. I was once over 600, but then I made a little bit of an adjustment to my game, and since then it's actually working kind of well.
Yeah. Okay. Oh well, I'll have to get you to tell me how it's done someday, unless it's a secret. So Isaacson's drawn one of the starter tiles, which he needs. I think there's that's the last one gone now. I think 1, 2, 3. Yes, they're all gone now. And he needed it, the last one, in 2 places. So I think he's put it where he still has a chance of completing his cloisters and taken that city, which I suppose is a risk because it's his last meeple. But if he's able to finish it, then 8 points would actually put him put him close to the lead.
No.
Only point behind. And he's still, even if he doesn't complete those cloisters, he's still got 8 points there for the top one and 7 for the second. So it's 15 points. Maybe it's closer than I assumed.
Oh, and that's a smart one for Samuelson right now.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, it would have been better if he placed the curved road the other way around, I believe. Because there's no straight road left in the game, or crossroad.
Okay.
And now Isaacson can at least still free his bottom monastery.
Yeah.
I can give you the link. Wait a sec. There we go.
Yeah.
And people seem to enjoy your English.
Oh, I'm glad to know. I'll have to start reading bedtime stories. Maybe there's a market there. Samuelson's made a great play there to take his farm back. So he's actually is one of the roads with one of the monasteries with road. I can only see one in play.
Yeah, there's one left in the game.
Okay, so if Isaacson wants to complete that second monastery there, then he's going to give the farm away, or maybe the farm will be given away anyway.
Yeah.
If he joins there. Okay.
Okay, yeah. And Samuelson now can connect.
Yeah. That was a good move. Oh.
And there are also 3 or more curved roads in the game, so yeah, the connection there was kind of easy.
So now he's got the choice. Does he want to fill that gap and complete his earlier city for 8, or does he want to complete his other one for 10, his newer city?
Now, what would you do?
I think with only 8 tiles left, I wouldn't want to give away 3 points for the farm. So he's got 3 points there. He's going to be gaining 5 points for himself, but giving away 3, so it's really only worth 2. I think he made the right decision there.
Yeah. Oh, and he draws the monastery, actually. That's really good for him.
Yeah, especially now he's got a meeple to claim it with as well. That would have been a killer if those last 2 tiles of his had been the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's actually worked out quite nicely for him now. He's lost the farm, but he's got some good points.
Well, Isaacson could try to get on the lower field. Maybe.
That's what I'm looking at.
I mean, 2 curved roads still in the game.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way that he can try to fight back for the bigger farm. I say the bigger farm, it's actually less valuable at the moment because it's got 3 complete cities on it.
No.
Potentially potential for 5, but the other one's got 4, and he has an opportunity to get onto it. I think that's what I'll be doing.
Okay, actually, huh. Yeah, what was that? I mean, if you don't want to use it to, attack the field, then maybe just take the 6-point farm.
Yeah,
Like,
that's really neat. That's given him like 1 point because 4 for the city, but 3 given away for the farm.
yeah.
Doesn't feel very efficient. But he's got a big lead now because he's got his cloisters back, and considering how low he's been on meeples for most of the game, he's now got 3.
Oh, well, now he's going for it at least.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Samuelson's choice, placing the curved road right there, was that smart. Maybe he should have taken the 6-point field.
Yeah, I suppose it would have been the same. He's generated himself 6 points, but he's given away 1 point and given a meeple back. Yeah, maybe it would have been better if he had gone for the farm.
Yeah, and he would have taken away the 6 points for Isaacson.
Yeah. Yeah, so it looks like it's going to be quite close because Samuelson's a long way behind, but he has all the. Well, I say he has all the farms. He's got 4 there, and he's got 4 there as well. So that's 8. So that's 24. But then Isaacson has 3, and Samuelson's got that long road as well.
Okay, so meanwhile I can tell you Jubic won his second game again as well, I mean. So 1 big point for Ukraine.
Yeah.
And Van Alexen now won against Mogulen, so that's 1-1 there. Deciding match coming up. And Lawyer won against Mr. Savastano, so deciding match there as well.
I think this format of competition is quite interesting, isn't it? Because with each duel being best of 3 games and each match being best of 5 duels, and so many of them have had, or so few of them rather, have had a clear winner.
Yeah, that's true actually.
Always seems to be fought right to the end.
And even the very clean or clear wins, if you look closer to the match statistics, and they are actually not that clear.
Yeah.
Okay, so Isaacson now with the win. So yeah, I mean by 4 points. Yeah, so Samuelson with the curved road.
Yeah, I think that was a turning point. Perhaps if he hadn't taken those 6 points for the roads and completed that cloister, and maybe if he'd taken the 6 points for the farm instead, then maybe we'd be seeing something a bit different. But either way, I think it was a great game, especially considering how far Isaacson was behind, and then to catch up.
No. Okay, then let's watch the deciding match right here. And yes, I will stream Spain versus Portugal together with Deftine. And I'll be right back. Just grab something to drink real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so this time Samuelson with the quick lead once again.
Yeah, he gets off the mark pretty quickly sometimes, doesn't he? And he's enjoyed the benefit of 3 small cities so far.
I mean, that's always the annoying thing if your opponent has a really good start. Maybe like you had in our first match, you were leading by, I don't know, 20 or 25 points, and I was already like, oh, come on. But then, yeah, it kind of changed, and I got, I don't know if I got the better tiles in the end, but yeah, suddenly I was ahead 20 points.
Yeah, there was I think you were I think you said on your commentary that you'd just got back from the shops, and it sounded like you weren't quite in the game. But I think watching the commentary, I couldn't see what the scores were because obviously you're blocked your tile preview just in case I was watching, which made sense. But I have a feeling from memory, I think I was quite far ahead in points, but I think you had at least 2 cloisters on the board, monasteries. I call them cloisters. That's what they used to be called. On the board, and I don't know whether you'd given up on those or whether you just assumed they wouldn't be completed. But I think you got to the point that you were completing them, and I was doing everything I could to try and hold you up. But you were able to just keep the points coming, which I think is what you need to be doing because it gives you the edge psychologically as much as anything else.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't really matter if you're behind like 20 points in Carcassonne, you can still catch up.
Yeah, as long as you've got meeples.
Yeah, yeah, true.
So we're seeing it's almost like an opposite pattern now, in that Isaacson has got the early farm showing a bit of promise. I suppose it with those roads near the top, it looks like we could come straight across to stop any more growth there, and then the road sort of zigzags around the side. But it's going to be potentially worth at least 3 cities, maybe 4.
Your wife is whispering.
That was my son.
Oh, okay.
He was saying, after you finish that, can you play Carcassonne with me?
Oh god. How old is he?
I learned how to play.
Yeah, yesterday we learned how to play Carcassonne, so he's keen to play again.
No, that's good.
There's a good battle going on for this city now, isn't there?
Yeah. And most likely all the splitting tiles are still in the game.
Yeah.
Only one is out so far. That's an interesting move right there.
Yeah, I could understand trying to create the gap, but then claiming the other side of it seems a bit counterintuitive.
Yeah, because now he has to play the curved road, but
Yeah.
at least he can now enlarge his field, so that's good for him at least.
Yeah.
But yeah, now he's kinda attackable right there. But there are still... Oh no, one is out already. So I guess 2 tiles still in the game for Isaacson.
Yeah, I can see 2 city road fields. And he needs a city field road there. So the odds might be in his favour that he'll be able to continue that road.
Oh, and that's a good one for Samuelson right there.
Yeah. You don't see games decided very much by huge cities. Normally, you expect there to be a battle for a farm, but every now and again you see a fight over a city, and I've always found those more exciting.
Yeah, that's true. I actually never play any city battles or city fights because I mean, my experience is that I'm kind of unlucky with it, and then I just okay, take your points and
Yeah.
I mean, your playing style is kind of influenced by your experience, and if you make good experience with I don't know, farming or city fights, you're going for it all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm thinking twice all the time if I really want to fight for a city, or maybe just trying to block it.
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose that's the risk. If somebody's trying to get into your city, then normally the reason they're trying to get into it is because it's worth a reasonable amount of points. And so if you can stop them from getting in, then they're going to lose a meeple. And yeah, they lose a meeple, and it just gives you more of an advantage.
Maybe you should gift your son a board game arena account. So he can learn it the hard way.
It would be the potential for being beaten by him was too embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, as a, let's say, good player, you always fear the beginners, I would say, like the 200 or 300 Edo guys.
Yeah.
Who are just playing, I don't know, super risky because they don't really know that they are playing risky right now.
Yes. Yeah. No, that's exactly something I'm starting to notice, is that sometimes I think that the better you get, or at least the more aware and the more you think about the game, sometimes the harder it can actually be to win, because you don't want to put a meeple here, or you don't want to claim this, because you're aware of all the consequences of that decision. Whereas if you're less aware of everything that's going on, then you take risks without even really realizing that they're risks. And sometimes you lose games, and sometimes you lose games to people who really you shouldn't have lost to, and lose a lot of elo points because of it.
Yeah. And those guys, I mean, they're taking the risk, and then they're at the same point lucky enough to get the tile they need, and then
Yeah.
And then they comment, yeah, that was tactics or strategy or
Yeah. No, it's a vicious game, but it's even if you always know what the right thing to do is, you're not always guaranteed that you're going to be able to do it.
And yeah, the field actually looks kind of good for Isaacson, but he definitely needs still some points somewhere. And yeah, that's a good one right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Samuelson on the other hand, trying to build himself opportunities to get a second meeple on the farm. Oh, and that's with one meeple left, taking the city now. That's a bit risky.
Yeah, because there's still quite a lot of game left. There's 28 tiles remaining, and they're both down to their last meeple. I suppose because they've committed to the city and they're committing to the farm, and they've had their odd road battle. It's been strange. It looks to me like there's a good opportunity to get onto the farm. You see where Samuelson has got that road, because with a city road, and I can only see 2 of those in play at the moment, suggesting that there's 3 left. There's one of them. That would join to the farm.
Oh, and Fanna Lexen actually won the deciding match as well, so that's another big pointer for Ukraine. And Lawyer actually won as well, so that's already 3 points for Ukraine right here. And that's the overall win.
I think I'm so terrible at predicting which teams are going to win. I actually for both of the first 2 matches that I predicted on the carcassonne.cat website, I got it wrong. So then I started, whenever we had a team, the United Kingdom had a team, I would always go and vote for the other team to win in the hope that I'd be wrong about that as
well. That's smart.
Well, it worked for us against Poland, but I voted for Germany to win, and then you did. That was the first one I got, I guess, correctly.
So, and now Samuelson also with the second meeple. And there should be both monasteries with road still in the game, I believe. So and that's a good spot right there. And yeah, Samuelson actually has 2 choices now: blocking the way for Isaacson to get a third meeple on the field, or placing a third meeple himself on the field.
Yeah. I guess it goes for the quick 2 points.
Did you actually say 3-2 for Norway or for Ukraine?
I think at this point I would happily pretend that I'd said 3 for Ukraine. But it's all been recorded, so I'll have to confess that I thought that Norway would take it.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, Ukraine is still my secret favorite, but yeah, I mean they have to win the next match as well.
Yeah, it's very close in that group. But on paper, looking at their looking at their ELO scores, I mean, obviously there's with something like Carcassonne, then there's more to life than your ELO. But you know, I looked at them earlier today, and I averaged it out across the 5 of them, and they had an average of 543, which is pretty high.
Yeah.
And the Norway team had 485 by comparison, but they seemed to be in such a good position. And Norway were the only team to have scored more than one duel against Japan. So there was obviously something that they were doing right, and I think regardless of the fact that Ukraine probably looked like the better team, I assume that Norway would still take it just based on their performance so far in their group.
Yeah, I mean, Elo is Elo. You always have your, let's call them nightmare opponents.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really struggling against Russian players for some reason. I don't know why.
Okay.
Greetings to Mikhail Russ. 11 encounters, and I could manage to win 1 game.
Wow.
So yeah.
There's I have a couple of opponents like that. Opponents who every now and again I'll be drawn against in a competition, and I think, right, I really want to win this game. And sadly it never seems to happen. Okay.
Okay. So Samuelson, looking for his monastery right now.
Yeah. There we get it.
Oh, Isaacson. Yeah, and that's the GG right here, I would say.
So what's that on the farm now? Okay, so it's 3 each. But Isaacson is out of meeples, and it doesn't look like he's going to get any back. And Samuelson's got a good lead. As long as he can stop Isaacson from finishing that city that he's got, then really it's over, isn't it?
Yeah. And I mean, if Isaacson wouldn't have, thrown away his meeple on the road right there, he might have had a chance. But yeah, this meeple there was kind of unnecessary.
Yeah. I mean, it was a good trap. He was limiting Samuelson's options there, but he sort of trapped himself at the same time for no reason. Maybe he did have a reason, and maybe he was thinking something else that I'm not aware of. But it wasn't obvious to me what his thinking was there. And meanwhile, now Samuelson can just keep growing this farm. How many is that now? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And he's already got a big lead, 32 points.
I mean, the question is, if Ukraine wins, do they actually have a chance to get into the knockout round? I mean, Norway also has 2 wins. And this, I mean, it's very close in like every group. There's one team that is like first by far, and then the other teams are so damn close. Tomorrow, Russia against Japan. That's gonna be a banger of a match.
Yeah.
If you want to, you can join me, but I guess you want to spend the weekend with your family.
Well, I don't know about want to, but I'm obliged to. No, I'm joking. We have fun at the weekends.
Yeah, sure.
What time is the is Russia versus Japan, by the way?
Let me check real quick. It is 1 p.m. So
Yeah,
that's not a great time for you, I guess.
No, probably not. But I shall be watching. Yeah. I think I've played so many games like this where, you know, it doesn't take much. You lose a meeple somewhere, and then you get overcommitted to a farm battle or something, and you know, before you know it, then you're basically just watching your opponent's score going up, and it can be very demoralizing. But yeah, sometimes that's just what happens, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, so that's the win for Samuelson right here. Yeah, 4-0 now. I mean, Saharik and Dog are still playing, but as the game is already decided and I need to prepare my second stream and yeah, want at least a bit of a break in between, I would say we can end the stream right here. Yeah, then thanks for coming.
Well, thank you very much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, you can join me every time you want.
I appreciate that. I'll try to make sure I don't surprise you in the middle of any more.
Okay, so yeah, thanks to the chat. I will be back in, let's say, 30 minutes. And yeah, have a nice evening, everyone, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye.